Told, but a quick red zone opportunity. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. Now the young man who was a Pro Bowler as an undrafted rookie, it's Phillip Lindsay. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This unit, they're hoping to improve against the pass because right now, Charles, number 27 in the NFL.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the #1 overall offense in the league.
Handing it off to Brown. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 7 on the play, and it sets up a 3rd and inches situation. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with...
And he will score! Touchdown, Denver! It's their quarterback. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they score in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long, they're certainly starting to set that type of a pace. And what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
McManus's point after is good, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Quarterback Mitchell Trubisky leading out the Chicago Bears. Former #2 overall pick out of Carolina. Big improvements in year 2 for Trubisky. Touchdown spiked from 7 to 24. Yards per game went up by almost 50. And, of course, most importantly, the Bears went from 5 wins to 12 and an NFC North title. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10. And, right away, he lost the football. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Holding. Defense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
And is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. They could not ask for a worse start. You give up a touchdown on the game's opening drive, and then you turn right around and throw the interception on your very first play.
And this is where the coaching staff has to earn its money because they've got to calm these guys down a little bit. Just as you noted, a horrendous start, both sides of the ball. But now the defense, which gave up an opening drive touchdown, they've got to go out there now and start playing like the team they want to be.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. Man, those numbers from last week. What do you call a game like that? Monumental? A career game?
Yeah, every one of those adjectives you can pull up. Monumental, mammoth, massive. But you also know that he wants another one just like it in this game.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
Now Manning. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Shotgun handoff to Brown here. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd, and he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. They had the interception last time. It led to the open down. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. He was trying to hit Taylor Gabriel that time. And it's 2nd down. And now a look at the offense for Chicago.
Running back Tariq Cohen brings us all to our feet when he's on the field because you never know how they're going to utilize it. In 2018, was able to run, throw, and catch a touchdown pass. And in addition, was a 2018 Pro Bowl return specialist for the NFC. The human joystick makes everything better when he's on the field.
And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line. A look now at the starters defensively for the Broncos. It's quite a unit, that's for sure. Number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And hey, they were stingy in the opener. Didn't allow much of anything at all through the air. So now they come into week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's go ahead and get to that number 1 spot.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
You know, a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10.
Ready? 50, plant. Check. You remember me?
They defer to Brown to start the drive. Oh, look at that. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
Still going. They can't stop him. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Leonard Floyd, the old Georgia Bulldog, finding his way into the backfield.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a 2nd guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Clinton Dix making the safety blitz look easy. Zooms in for the sack.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Prince Amukamara. They were looking for Johnson that time. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
A reminder coming up later tonight, Sunday Night Football, a good one from Atlanta. Eagles and Falcons, 8:20 Eastern. And then tomorrow on Monday Night Football, Odell Beckham back in New York, back in MetLife Stadium. Browns and Jets, 8:15 Eastern on Monday night. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 15. Throwing here, Trubisky. And that's off the mark, incomplete. Allen Robinson, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd down. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when the next defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Oh, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
On 3rd down, Trubisky sliding out of the pocket. He may try and run for this. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. 14 yards into Chicago, 1st down.
Under the category of obvious, you hate giving up a 1st down on 3rd and long. And somehow, he finds his way downfield and picks it up.
If you look at the coverage defensively, oh, this is great, but no one accounted for him at the quarterback spot.
At some point, you actually have to tackle him and get him on the ground short of the 1st down marker.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there and a 1st down. Charles, you are the master of abstract facts. So who would you say is the best player ever drafted from it? And oh, his first carry, he loses the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. 20, 10, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver. Even the great ones, some of the best, they're not immune to the fumble, and here it really hurts them.
If the ball gets away from any runner's body, that's when the defense pokes at it, swipes at it, swats at it, and finds a way to create a big play for themselves.
McManus now for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Tariq Cohen and the rest of the offense heading back out there. Looking for a bounce back. Had the fumble a moment ago that went for a touchdown the other direction. See if he can get back in rhythm.
And you have to be very careful about having too quick of a hook with really good players. I did a guy's game in high school where he fumbled 3 times in the first quarter, finished with over 300 yards on the night, later ended up in the NFL. If you got a talented back, give it back to him.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a 1st down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping is...
Now Trubisky lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos will add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, Yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And it is now 21-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Onto the field now come the Bears. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. Now Trubisky to Cohen out of the backfield. And he loses the football a second time. It's picked up by the Broncos. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Now McManus for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. Typically down to the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally you know.
And oh my goodness, he loses it again. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Looking to throw again on second down. Trubisky. He had 3 of those sacks last week en route to being the AFC Defensive Player of the Week 1 right there. How do you block him now?
That's the question you think that they'd be able to answer. After having 3 the week before, you would make all the necessary adjustments in practice, but he's such an imposing force, he knows how to get to the quarterback anyway.
After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And the fair catch is made at about the 27-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit, but first it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start with a couple of bitter rivals from the AFL days. Kansas City traveling west to take on Oakland, and they've gone to the half with the Raiders out in front. Derek Carr has a couple of touchdown passes there. From there, we head east to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Arizona Cardinals. 35-3, the final score. Lastly, let's motor up to the Motor City. See what's happening with the Lions at home at Ford Field. And they were losers in that one to the visiting LA Chargers. Phillip Rivers, 5 touchdown passes, leading his guys to the victory. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race, very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down, and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out with nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On second down now, it's Cohen. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
McManus now for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
False start, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. A false start backs them up 5. First and 15.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right. Tight end's right. We got 4. We got 4.
They'll try to counter here. Cohen. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. A loss of 2 there. Second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments.
And how about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield and spills the play.
Yeah, he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Another drive comes and goes, still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Emmanuel Sanders, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos add on. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, you know, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Extra point from McManus is good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. That's fielded in the end zone, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, you know, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 13. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they're dominating it.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 27. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. So their woes on offense continue. That's the 2nd pick thrown here in the 3rd quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
They'll run on 1st down. Brown, absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
I have zero rooting interest in either team in this game. I only want a good game. But with all the offense we've seen from them tonight, it's kind of nice to see the defense step up and make a big play.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were ever going to get him in the backfield. Nice to see him get a stop. Give them 4 on the carry there, but that only takes them back to where they started. 3rd and 10. From the gun, it's Manning. Got a man. He finds Sanders. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
That false start knocks them back behind the 10 now as they'll try again, 1st and goal. Now Manning. That's complete right around the 8. And here he'll get it down to the 7. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
Sack, baby. Sack, baby.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
Manning now on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos continue to pour it on. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll start with a give to Cohen, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Welcome back now to Denver. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. From the shotgun is Trubisky. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. And now a pass dump. Off to his running back. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. Now that sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Bryce Callahan.
Interception, baby. Down.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak. Late.
Now it's Brown. Kyle Fuller, the one to make the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now a give, right side. It's Brown, and only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here, stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do, late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock. Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
He has just been completely taken out of this game. We're in the 4th quarter. He's single digits in the rushing department.
And I know we look at him because the numbers do go to his production, but how about the guys blocking for him? They don't just have his number as a ball carrier. They've got the number of the offensive line and the other guys because they're getting to him before he can get started.
Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off. Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. The big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. On first down, Brown. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
You don't want no problems with me.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd and 9, Manning. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. Throwing now is Manning. And that's caught by Smith. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
Another try after the first down sack. Manning, and this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some.
And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there. With 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Broncos add on. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
McManus's point after is good, and that will extend this big lead. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Denver, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they will hit the road next week for a date with a Green Bay
top of the throne. I ain't a king, not a pawn. Hop on a jet across the globe. I guess the world is my home and there's so many milk. Bird in my dome and like turbulent air. I'm switching these flows. If you look at my neck, boy, I'm letting it snow. I'm sturdy as hell, as a vessel alone. They showing me love in my city. Gangs ain't hippies. Women like Nicky know what I'm about. I'm not. The stereotypes, they do not fit me. I'm bigger than life. Gave everyone jobs. I'm not a guard. Go hard with a squad. I'm playing my part, but I'm LeBron. Rings to the team. I feel Jackson and hard. The homie calling from a cell. A couple of homies be making it. I just want all of them dudes to do well. Not worry about taking a couple of L's. Don't sin for me, just win for me. Don't kill for me, just live for me. Keep it real for me. We eat together, leave the bill for me like. Hand on my heart, I give it all.
Here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Defensively, we check the starters now for Denver. They put together a strong effort last week in the win over the Bears, CD.
They forced 7 turnovers.
How many?
7. I mean, think about that number now. That's supposed to be a lucky number, right? Lucky for one side, unlucky for the other.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Rodgers to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Now Jones is hit. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
Now McManus for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points get that 0 off the board. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on set. Now look out. Rodgers lost the football. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
McManus now for the extra point. And it is now 21-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive. Then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You've just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
Now a nice play defensively on as this is knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Rodgers to throw again. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield? A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bryce Callahan. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there? Yeah, maybe that extra you know, that extra emphasis on it. Got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
They go play action here on 1st down. They'll let this thing go for Sanders. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Here's a give to Brown. The 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead. Now, 1st quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it is stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
McManus's point after is good, and the route is on here in this 1st half. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They've got to be absolutely reeling right now. Couldn't have expected to be down this big this early, but that's the spot they're in as they come up to try again here. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. It's caught by Garcon. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. 2nd time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them, the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. The connection made. It's Graham. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Now McManus for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 20. Five-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go.
And in just about every game we see, partner, what do we do when we look at the stat sheet? We go right to
the turnover differential.
Without a doubt, because when we see that, that pretty much tells the tale of the game. And I know there's still plenty of time to go, but you've got to take care of the football in order to win it.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. He went through an opening, and there he goes. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Phillip Lindsay, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Broncos continue to pour it on.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. Williams loses the football. The Broncos say they have it. They do. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a 1st down. Throwing his Manning. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
That I'm struggling to understand a little bit. That close to the goal line, 1st down, run the football. If you want to throw it, throw some play action on 2nd down.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there. Doing it again with his 3rd touchdown here in the opening quarter. And the Broncos add on. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn...
And the Broncos get there and take him down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now.
Packers, nothing.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Back for the 2nd quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd down coming up. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. And he still has yet to get on track in this 1st half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And he's found the end zone twice, and now I'm guessing he's thinking, hey, let's find it 3 times.
And you got to figure from the defensive perspective, how has he gotten there twice? What are we going to do to keep him out for a 3rd time? How do we tighten things down?
On the double.
Mike 56. You're not ready. You're not ready.
Get up.
56 to Mike.
Manning now on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turns into a nice play.
And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Instead of a 3rd-and-1 run, they go pass, and they get 12 yards out of it.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised they'll come right back to him again.
And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
And yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
Extra point from McManus is good. And the route is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. In the second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive.
And he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. In for the score. And the Broncos continue to pour it on.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
And 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Jamal Williams making his way back onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Complete to the right. This is Garcon. 7 yards there and a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. McManus now for the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Devontae Adams in the Packer offense heading back out. With them losing here in the second quarter and his limited productivity so far, you'd have to think they're going to try to look to him a little bit more, right?
I would guess you would start to see maybe some quick screens, some hitches, anything to get the ball in his hands quickly and let him try and do some damage after the catch. Or maybe just flip some formations and keep him isolated where it's more of a one-on-one route and get the ball to him.
I said just 4 verts, right?
Hey, why not? 4 verts. One of the best routes in football. Hard to cover each guy all the way along the route.
So far, just 1 catch for him. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do such.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 45. Still going. And what a return as he brings this one all the way back to the 25-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
A reminder, coming up later tonight, a lot of buzz about this game. The Browns, they've been doing some travel. Back-to-back primetime games for them. Monday night they were in New York. Now the Browns head to Los Angeles to take on the NFC champs, Browns and Rams, an 8:20 kickoff Eastern time, 5:20 in California. A good pickup there, 21 yards. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it? Because those are the types of plays.
Got a man. It's Johnson. End zone for a Denver touchdown. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Broncos add on.
So whatever happened to rookie quarterbacks taking time to adjust to life in the NFL? Because this guy looks like he's been doing it for about, 7 years? 4 touchdown passes? That's not something rookies are supposed to be doing with the ease in which he's doing it.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Rodgers now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now they got to get to the line quickly. To throw again on 2nd down. Rodgers, he gets this with a Garcon. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Into the red zone, it's Rodgers. And it's caught. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. To throw is Rodgers. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10. And the Denver Broncos are in for 6. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Rodgers now on first down. Over the middle to Garcon. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. Throwing again on second down. Rodgers. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Throwing now is Rodgers. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. A final shot before half for Rodgers. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Time for a look around the NFL here in Week 3 of the new year. We'll begin with what's actually a Super Bowl rematch from 4 decades ago. Super Bowl 11. John Madden's lone Super Bowl title. It's Oakland taking on Minnesota. And this is a 4-point game as they've gone to the locker rooms for halftime. Adam Thielen, a touchdown catch in that first half. From there, let's get to Philadelphia as we check on the Eagles at home at Lincoln Financial Field. And that one is at halftime as they've got the lead over the visiting Detroit Lions. Carson Wentz lighting things up. 3 touchdown passes there. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And at this point, they trail the visiting Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson has a touchdown pass.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the...
Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A big play there. 72 yards. And the Broncos continue to pour it on. So what was already a game to remember becomes even more so as that touchdown run, a lengthy one, takes him over 200 yards now for the game.
And I love the fact that to get over 200, it took a pretty good sprint, didn't it? I mean, a lot of times you get 1 or 2 yards and oh, he's over 200 yards. But that really put an exclamation point on the game he's having. Fantastic. A lot of fun to watch.
Now McManus for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. One play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Packers offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use.
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. And you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 21 yards there on third down. This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a complete...
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. He's turning in a pretty impressive performance running the football, and a big reason why they have this nice lead.
And in days gone by, we would clip this out and put it up on the refrigerator, wouldn't we? Clip out the box score. Nowadays, not too many newspapers out there. Maybe you screenshot it online.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't
when we talked about him, they did. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Broncos capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6.
Brandon, remind me again, this is a rookie quarterback we're seeing?
A rookie indeed.
I mean, because my eyes are telling me something I'm having trouble believing. 5 touchdown passes. He's thrown 5 in this game. Are you kidding me?
McManus now for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did, and remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards.
This quarterback now over 300 yards now for the game, and time to improve on that as he's got a 1st and 10. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I think it's okay that they didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. And give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
McManus's point after is good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They begin the drive with Williams. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
From the 30 on 2nd down, Rodgers out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Williams loses the football. The Broncos say they have it. They do. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
So the fumble recovery, and now Manning. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. As his guys are in for 6. And the Broncos capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Shotgun now for Rodgers. And left side here, it's Graham. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
That catch for his career is number 589, so 11 away from 600, but it also right now ties him with Hall of Famer Fred Biletnikoff.
And we remember Fred Biletnikoff well because of the way he went about his business in catching the football. And we're seeing something similar here. Someone who runs precise routes, has excellent hands, and knows how to get the ball to the end zone.
Manning steps away to his left. Oh, he'll try and throw it deep to the other side of the field. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Jair Alexander that time able to knock that one away.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort.
Emmanuel Sanders past the 20. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Emmanuel Sanders, 87 yards, and the Broncos add on. And Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is. I mean, he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
Extra point from McManus is good, and that will extend this big lead. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Graham. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Throwing is Rodgers. He's got his man on the crossing route. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped 100 with that last catch. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score, and a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower postgame. McManus's point after is good, and the lead will swell by one more. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. Huge play by the defense, not only to force the fumble, obviously, but to return it for a touchdown.
And I know it's no fun for anyone who plays offense, but isn't it fun to see how a defense rallies when there's a fumble return and everyone tries to find someone to block and bring it all the way home?
I always like their celebrations because they don't get there that often.
No, they're not choreographed very well usually.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st down, Rodgers. Over the middle, that's caught by Adams. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. He needed a yard, that's what he got, and it's going to earn him a new set of downs. And they're on 3rd and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receiver.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Rodgers going to throw. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target. So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
No, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating.
Accelerating, and off he goes. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over.
And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 28. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Call that a gain of 11.
As many games as the two of us do, I would hope that one day we'll be able to solve this riddle. Why is it on a hot day that one team has more trouble with the heat than another?
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. And he just tied the NFL record on that 5th rushing touchdown. He's the 6th man ever to do that in a single game.
And, partner, did you just say that he tied an NFL record there?
Yes, sir.
I mean, we're talking 5 touchdowns on the ground against an NFL-caliber defense.
Is that good?
I'd say that's fantastic. What a game for him.
It really is something. We are watching quite the effort. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Looking left side, and he's got Sternberger. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do? You got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end.
Now look out, Rodgers lost the football. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, bounced right back on it, keeps possession. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Here's Rodgers. It's caught by Garcon. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One final try for Rodgers. We've seen this before. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Broncos, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Packers, it'll be their first loss of the season. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge.
Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
revenge, somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch with the left, touchdown. Step back, let me get some room. Congrats every time I'm through. Same pack and nobody knew, so I never get confused.